this actually happened. Towards the end of the night, in a flash, while I was kicking and fighting, I saw myself in an examination room, and I saw one of these creatures standing at the foot of this table, and it was huge. It looked like a mantis, or some kind of animal-looking thing. It must have been 7 feet tall, and it was leaning over me, and there was another in the background. It was either shorter than this one or possibly as tall, but because it was standing further back, I couldn't tell the size of it. And that was just in a flash, in an instant. I saw that scene and I thought, well, this must be what I have been fighting. Following that evening, she began to sleep peacefully again. She reverted back to her normal sleeping habits. But again, she connected all of this together and realized that she was in contact with ETs. And it was shortly later that she underwent hypnotic regression with Daryl Sims and confirmed this. Following this, she became very active in the UFO field. She actually led a UFO group for a short time, which she gave up eventually because it was just too much work. But she continued to have experiences. Often these, what she perceives to be greys, would come into her room when she was in a quasi-sleeping, quasi-awake state, and they would give her messages. And she would always write them down. One phrase, one message that she wrote down was very short. It said, and I quote, "We are trying to communicate with you, but you don't understand." Other messages were more profound. One time she woke up and wrote down the very provocative message, "Those that come from afar will show you the way." Interestingly, while Jeannie does have a lot of the markers pointing towards being a UFO abductee, she has never seen a UFO, nor does she have any unexplained scars or scoop marks on her body, which are typical of many UFO contactees. But she did notice a few other symptoms. On several occasions, she woke up to find that her navel, her belly button, was red, sore, and inflamed. That always puzzled her, but she now links it to her UFO experiences. Probably the most inexplicable physical symptom that she had was fluorescence on her body. After reading about this weird effect, that some contactees report that their bodies will fluoresce under a black light, she decided she would check herself with the black light and see if there was any evidence there. And to her surprise, there was. And she found that under a black light, the palms of her hands glowed with a bright fluorescence. Her friend was there. Her friend didn't have any of this. Jeannie went and washed her hands vigorously, but still they glowed under a black light and glowed for the next several days before finally fading away. So while some of Jeannie's encounters have been somewhat traumatic, she has dealt with them as best as she can. One thing that she says unnerves her is seeing other people's drawings of praying mantis ETs. They look very familiar to her, and as she says, when people start showing me pictures of different ETs, there are some that I can't look at. I get goosebumps all over, and it makes me want to throw up. Some of them make me cringe. I can't look at them.